Abdul-Jabbar, a screen on Thomas. Cooper. And the three off target. Thomas against Cooper. Lambier passes to Aguirre.
Well, there were a few complaints last season about how the playoff seeding was done, most notably in the Western Conference. Portland was the 4th seed for winning their division, but without that division win, would have been the 6th seed.
Here's Abdul-Jabbar after the basket by Detroit. A little over a minute and a half of the 4th quarter gone now. On the wing, Thompson. Abdul-Jabbar kicks to Matthews. The offensive rebound. Abdul-Jabbar misses.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
Into the playoffs last year with Portland being a division winner, but getting that 4th seed, that played a huge role in this conversation about playoff seeding structure. San Antonio would end up playing the Clippers in the first round, even though both had better records than the Blazers.
Kevin, no doubt it's a tricky situation. Listen, you want to reward teams for winning their division, but every so often it comes at the expense of several other teams, like it did last year, who just play in stronger divisions. So I think that's something that the league is going to have to look at moving forward.
Here is Matthews. After Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's score, Thompson dishes to Abdul-Jabbar. It's tipped. Stolen by Dumars. Now Thomas feeds it to Lambier. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Out to the right wing. Cooper kicks to Matthews. Dishes it to Abdul-Jabbar. Here's Thompson, knocked away. Lambier with the steal. Thomas against Cooper. Thomas passes to Dumars. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Rakowski's got 6 rebounds in the game. Outside Matthews. Now the feed to Abdul-Jabbar. They get a hand on it. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Aguirre drains it from beyond the arc. Aguirre's got 9 points now in just the second half.
They're simply living and dying from behind the arc in this second half. And I don't think that's the way to go here. They're trailing. The three-point shot can be used. They've got to balance it out.
Now here's Matthews. 5 to shoot. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here, and the shot is good. Abdul-Jabbar's got 6 points in the quarter. Pistons trail by 21. And here is Thomas. He dishes it to Dumars. Here's Lambier, and he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Lambier's got 19 points.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Now here's Matthews. Abdul-Jabbar the screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. To the inside. It's stolen by Rodman. Thomas against Cooper. Rodman with a screen on Cooper. And Thompson sends it back. Timeout called the Lakers.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. Green, he's checked in for Bukowski. Worthy comes in for Thompson. Byron Scott, he's checked in for Cooper. And it's Johnson in for Matthews. Detroit also making some changes. Dawkins checked in for Lambier. Sally comes in for Aguirre. And it's Brown in for Dumars. Now here's Green. Johnson with it. 6 on the shot clock. And he banks in the layup. Johnson's got 22.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Now here's Brown. It's stolen by Abdul-Jabbar. Here's Scott. The no-look feed from Magic.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And, Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Thomas goes in. On the wing Brown. He's guarded by Johnson. Shot clock at 5. Goes up on the wing. Johnson with the block. Here's Scott. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, guys, coaching in the NBA is not for the faint of heart. Very little job security. I mean, in essence, you get hired to be fired. Let's face it, it's hard to make a bunch of millionaires do what you tell them to when they might be around longer than you will.
A different look here for Detroit. Bill Lambert's checked in for Dawkins. Aguirre comes in for Sally. And it's Dumars in for Brown. And speaking of coaching, sometimes you'll hear that the coach lost the team. When that happens, is that it, Clark? What's your read on that?
You know, I don't quite buy that. I think it's really rare. Winning can cover up a lot of things, and ultimately it does come down to that, being able to smooth out the rough spots, and winning is the best elixir for that.
And here is Johnson. Isaiah Thomas getting it to go from deep. Scott, good.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They got to offer more resistance here. Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
And the Pistons with possession here. Now the Pistons with it. Aguirre kicks to Thomas. Takes the 3. Again, Thomas missing. Lakers leading by 23. Outside Worthy. No one near him. Detroit with the rebound. Aguirre's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Passes it to Dumars. And the pinpoint pass there by Isaiah.
Assisted by Isaiah Thomas.
So it's the Lakers now. Here's Johnson. Abdul-Jabbar the screen. Scott dishes to Johnson. Abdul-Jabbar a screen on Thomas. Johnson lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Johnson's got 24 points.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
Outside Thomas. They set the pick. Pass to Dumars. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got 10 assists here tonight. So active.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
Well, with Steve Kerr and Jason Kidd both coming with no coaching experience over the last few seasons and also having success, I don't know, guys. Maybe we should throw our hat in the ring, but pretty impressive stuff.
That's not for me to do. I've already determined I don't want to coach for a paycheck, even if it is a big one.
Mahorn checked in for Detroit. Here's Dumars. And Detroit again with the bucket.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
You know, you look at the coaching success for both Jason Kidd and Steve Kerr, both with long playing careers, championship experience on their resumes. Steve, in fact, Clark even had some time in the front office with Phoenix.
And don't forget about his broadcasting career either, Kevin. I mean, I think in both cases, though, you look at these two guys, they were able to come in and have immediate credibility with their teams and their playing experience, part of their preparation for being coaches.
It's been quite a game for James Worthy.
He's on fire. And they needed to put their heads together to figure out how to get the ball out of his hands.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Angeles with some changes. Thompson, he's checked in for Abdul-Jabbar. And it's Thompson in for Worthy.
Thompson.
Outside Thomas. Thompson against Aguirre. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And it seems every season we see a player try and play through an injury. Sometimes it provides a boost with heroics, but it can lead to serious damage long term. It's a common practice we see, and some guys are pretty cavalier about it.
Greg, a lot of NBA players do play through injury. Last year, for instance, LaMarcus Aldridge played most of the regular season with a thumb injury that required surgery. Mike Conley, Clark Kellogg, we saw in the postseason play with the mask, with a facial fracture.
Yeah, and it's hard to make a blanket statement if it's good or bad for guys to do that. You just hope the player heeds the doctor's advice and doesn't do any further damage by playing injury.
Now here's Green. Back to Johnson. Outside, Scott. Just 4 to shoot. Back to Johnson. Tipped away and stolen by Thomas. Fast break. Here they come. There's the pass to Aguirre. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
And free throw good from Aguirre. And so he hits both. Los Angeles leading by 20. And it's Johnson penetrating. And that one's good.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
And really, there is no resistance defensively right now. It is just far too easy.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for Johnson. 8 rebounds and some big-time point production as well. It's been a really complete performance for him today.
And Clark, he's made a huge impact at both ends of the floor.
Now, here's Dumars. Over to the wing. Detroit, no good that time either. There's 1:54 left to play in the final quarter. And that one's good.
All of the scoring in tight is coming at that end of the court.
You know, they found the holes in the defense and really doing a great job of exploiting them.
Thomas passes to Aguirre.
That's how he makes his presence felt.
And we see him do it time and again. He is a special talent.
Sure
Hey,
is.
guys, as important as it is to go out and compete, let's not forget the entertainment element of this game. What an unreal finisher.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. And here is Los Angeles now after the basket by Detroit. Clock is at 3. Right at the free throw line, and again it's the Lakers.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Los Angeles.
But Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And that next meeting, Greg, will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a 2-game season series. I think the next game will be hotly contested.
And one of the league's truly special talents making his mark. Once again, another great performance for Johnson. A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Now here's Johnson, pass to Mahorn. Pistons passing it around. The shot by Dawkins is no good.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
And Thompson kicks to Scott. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here